While we're still waiting for new announcements from Amazon and MGM about the next James Bond movie, it's honestly going to be a long time before we hear anything else. There is also a James Bond game in development, and the last James Bond game that actually came out was 007 Legends. I remember this was on the PS3. It was released in 2012, and it was published by Activision. And I'll be honest, I'm so nostalgic for these James Bond games. I remember playing this one, Quantum of Solace. There was also GoldenEye, but it was the remastered one. Actually, the GoldenEye was in the 007 Legends, from what I remember. But it's been so long overdue at this point. But we are waiting from the studio, IO, who's been working on it for quite some time. And it's titled as Project 007. It's a new James Bond video game developed by IO Interactive, the Danish studio behind the acclaimed Hitman series. Announced in November 2020, the game is still in development and has no confirmed release date. The concept behind Project 007 seems a bit ambitious. It's an entirely original James Bond origin story that is not based on any of the films, and is designed to potentially launch a new trilogy of games. For the first time in any Bond medium, the story will explore how Bond became 007, with players earning their 00 status through gameplay progression. IO Interactive has been very clear that it's not a movie tie-in, which a lot of the James Bond games of the past have been, or a game based on an existing film. Instead, it's a reinvention of the character and the world, built specifically for gaming audiences. According to IO CEO Hakan Abrik, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, the game is being created from the ground up as a new interpretation of Bond, meant to let players grow with the character. The game is being developed with using IO's proprietary Glacier engine, which powered their modern Hitman titles. And while multiplayer has not been confirmed, which I hope to God it is, job postings suggest it could be a component, because what's a James Bond game without some multiplayer? Come on. As of now, the only confirmed platform is the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2, through its widely expected to release on PlayStation and Xbox as well. Given IO's statement that it's being developed for modern systems, a teaser trailer was released in 2020 at the time of the announcement, but it revealed no gameplay or character visuals. We're 5 years in and we still have no other details. How crazy is that? Another factor that may influence the project is the recent change in ownership and control of the James Bond franchise. Some of you already might know that for decades, Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson managed the brand for basically the longest time, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Amazon's acquisition of MGM has basically allowed them to have creative control, and it remains uncertain how the corporate transition might affect the direction or approval process for Project 007. Meanwhile, the Bond film universe is still being reshaped. We're still waiting for that 26 Bond film that is still in development under Amazon MGM Studios, with producers David Heyman and Amy Pascal being attached. And although we're always speculating and discussing the release details and the casting, which is still unknown, there's a widespread interest in how Amazon's influence will shape both the film and the game branches of the franchise moving forward. So, we'll definitely have to see how this goes. This is as much as I know, or at least much of the details about this 007 game, but I'm super excited. It's been almost, if we're looking from 2012, crazy. It's been 15 years since the last James Bond game, and I feel that it's long overdue. Let's hope that IO Interactive does a great job. I mean, their Hitman titles have been sensational. I think if they can take some of those elements and put it into James Bond, which has the espionage aspect to it, I think they're going to knock it off the park. I don't have any doubt that they're going to do a phenomenal job. And for us, we just have to wait and see. Hopefully, there could be some announcement later this year. And if so, I'll be sure to give you guys the updates right here on the Evening Buzz. And with that, we're wrapping it up here on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Evening Buzz every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Keeping you guys busy and entertained all throughout the weekend shift. Only here on Pulse 95. This is Mikail Atiyeh signing out. Have a good one.